Hello, it's me, Santa Cat 5, here in my workshop at the North Pole. I'm here with your Christmas forecast. We're gonna cover Torchmas, who's gonna have a white Christmas, and who will definitely not. Along with the severe weather that's possible a couple of days after Christmas, then when the pattern will change, and when will we get snow. Without further ado, it's your Christmas forecast. Right now, taking a look at the radar, we've got some snow showers moving through Wisconsin and Michigan, some freezing rain down here in southern Michigan, and then some plain old rain showers moving through the central portions of the country. Other than that, the majority of the country is dry, and looking pretty good, if I might say. Looking at our current weather warnings right now, we've got winter weather advisories in Wisconsin and Michigan, where we are expecting some snow and freezing rain today and tomorrow. We've also got some winter weather advisories in the Northeast, and upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, along with some winter weather advisories in the Sierra Nevadas, where we are going to get a couple of inches of snow over the next day or two. Other than that, we don't have a lot of weather warnings right now. Sure, the National Weather Services across the country are thankful of that. Yeah! So now what everyone wants to know, are you going to get a white Christmas? Let's take a look at the GFS to find out. This is the GFS, the 12Z GFS on Monday, December 23rd. And this is that clipper system that's moving through Wisconsin and Michigan right now. And let me show you what this system is going to do. It's going to slide to the east. As it does so, it's going to pick up a little bit of moisture from the Atlantic. I'm going to pause it here Christmas Eve morning. Check it out, guys. We've got some snow here from Pennsylvania all the way through New York, New Hampshire, even into Maine. We are going to be looking at some snow showers, could be light to moderate moving through. Now, this system is going to be pretty disorganized, and there really isn't any big system that's going to form from this. Watch as we go into Christmas Eve night. It really moves on out fast. I'm going to pause it here at Tuesday, December 24th. That's Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. Our system's going to be out of here by then, and we're going to be dry in the Northeast. Now, looking at the rest of the country, we are going to have some snow out here in the West, with some heavy snow falling in the Sierra Nevadas, and some snow here in Oregon and Western Washington. On Christmas Eve, we also might have some rain here in portions of the South, say Oklahoma, Eastern Texas, Arkansas, even portions of Missouri might get in on that rain action. Let's go a little bit further here. This is Christmas Day at 4 p.m. A lot of that snow in the western portions of the country is going to dissipate, and our rain is going to continue sliding east in the deep south. The upper Midwest and the Northeast should be mainly dry on Christmas Day, along with Florida and portions of the deep south. Now looking at snow, who is going to get a white Christmas? Looking at the models right now, it appears the Sierra Nevadas, portions of the Pacific Northwest, and mainly interior portions of the Northeast are at the greatest chance of getting a white Christmas, with a lot of that snow coming Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day, especially here in the Northeast, where a lot of that snow is actually going to fall on Christmas Eve morning, which means some of it could melt by Christmas Day. For the rest of the country, it looks like you're out of luck. You better hope I bring you some good gifts, because you're not going to receive a white Christmas. A special message here from Santa Cat 5, who reminds you, if you want to be on the nice list, subscribe to the channel and like the video. And make sure to set your notifications to all, so anytime Stormcat puts out a video, you see it first. If you don't do this, you'll be on the naughty list, and your Christmas will be canceled. Now let's get back to the video. Now, timing out this system in the Northeast, I just want to show you this really quickly here. So this is Tuesday about 4 a.m. That's when the majority of the snow is going to move through the Northeast. Check it out during the day on Tuesday. This is Tuesday at 10. That snow moves out pretty quickly, and this is Tuesday night. So this is Christmas Eve night. The system should be well off the coast, and really we're going to be mainly dry here in the Northeast. All in all, when it's said and done, we're only going to get a couple of inches here, with the same areas receiving the biggest snow: upstate New York, northeastern portions of Pennsylvania, and Maine. You guys are going to be the big winners with the snow. Further towards the coast you are, the less likely you are to get significant snow. So New Jersey, Boston, New York City, you guys might not get much, if anything. Don't worry, you'll still get presents, unless you're on the naughty list. Now looking at high temperatures on Christmas Eve, our cool spot's going to be here in the Northeast, where we're expecting teens to 20s. We've got 20s and 30s up here in the Midwest, and the central portions of the country, generally 40s and 50s, with the hot spot being Texas, Florida, and Arizona. You guys could have temperatures in the 70s. Now looking at Christmas Day, cool spot is still the Northeast, but our temperatures are going to warm up there, with 30s and 40s here in the Midwest, 50s and 60s here in the deep south, and then our hot spot still being Texas and Florida, with temperatures getting close to 80 degrees. Now, believe it or not, these temperatures are actually higher than normal for this time of year, especially in central portions of the country. We're going to be almost 50 in South Dakota. Now, that warm trend is very apparent when you look at the temperature anomalies. All the red, guys, that's warmer than normal temperatures. All the blue and green, that's colder than normal temperatures. So this is Christmas Eve. We've got warmer than average temperatures in the central and eastern portions of the country. Really, the only areas that are cooler than normal are the East Coast and California on the West Coast. So the interior portions are well above average. The warmth is going to continue building and sliding east. This is Christmas Day, once again, warmer than normal, with Canada being extremely warmer than normal. All that warm air in Canada is going to block that polar air from making its way down into the United States. And then continuing into after Christmas, guys, look at all the red on the map. We are going to have Torchmas and then days of Torchmas. It's the 5 days of Torchmas after Christmas. So well above average temperatures are going to persist in much of the country for the last half of December. Now, interestingly enough, guys, at the last part of the frame, we're going to have some cold air possibly moving in. Guys, right here, this is when we could start to have a pattern flip. We still do have some very warm temperatures in the eastern portions of the country, but look out here west. That's a lot of cold air, and Canada is starting to filter into the United States. And obviously, we got a long way out from this. We're going to see some flip-flops, but a lot of models have been hinting we could be looking at a significant pattern shift with much colder air working its way the first and second week of January. I'll show you that in a little bit. Now, let's look at the severe weather for the day after Christmas. Looking at the severe weather setup, we've got a trough that's starting to eject in the plains. I'm going to pause it here Christmas Day at 4 p.m. This trough is going to be in the Rockies, and then it's going to move off the Rockies, eject into the plains, start to tilt a little bit negatively, guys. Negative tilt means the system is tilted kind of this way. So we'll have a surface low that starts to form out in front of it. We'll have a cold front here that develops. We'll also have a warm front that probably develops if this low surface low can kind of crank up. We might even have a dry line behind it. So the upper level pattern is there. Now it's just a matter of if this low can pull enough moisture up in front of it to cause explosive thunderstorm development. December 26th is the day we're going to have to watch for severe weather. Now the upper level pattern is going to be there, but I think the big limiter is actually going to be the moisture. We are going to have a low that's going to be here. It is going to be pulling some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, how much moisture this thing pulls is going to directly affect how severe of an outbreak that we get. Now, looking at the latest NAM, we're going to have dew points in the 50s and 60s, which is sufficient for some severe weather. We'd like to see those numbers even higher if we're going to talk about a significant severe weather outbreak. Looking at our CAPE right now, which is our available energy for storms, these numbers need to get higher as well. We're only talking about numbers in the 400s to 500s. The greatest values being around 1,000 or even more down here in southern Texas. We're going to need way more energy than this if we're talking about a high-end severe weather outbreak. Now, there's definitely going to be some rain in the south with this system. The question is it severe? At least right now, signs are pointing to no. But as we know, things can trend the opposite way very quickly. Anytime we get a trough that's ejected into the plains like this, we've got to keep our eyes on it. And Cinecat will. It's a good thing too, because I don't think I can storm chase in my sleigh. I don't think my sleigh would hold up in a tornado. Maybe Reed Timmer could help me out with that. Reed, do you think you could turn my sleigh into a Dominator? We could call it the Slayinator. Big time tornado! Oh, oh, oh. Now, I've been hinting at a pattern change, and when are things going to be more like winter? That is not going to happen the week following Christmas. So the last week of December is going to be more of the same. We're going to have several lows that move through, but there's really not going to be a lot of cold air in place. So it's going to be rain for the Midwest, the Deep South, and the East Coast for several days. We're going to receive a couple of rounds of rain from December 26th through December 31st. Then watch as we go into January. Some of that cold air is actually going to start filtering into the south, and this is something we have not seen so far this year. That is going to be our big pattern shift. We're going to start to see these stronger low pressures move through the country, and then on the north side, we're going to have a lot of Canadian colder air filtering in on the backside, which means for those on the north side of those low pressures, you guys are really getting in on the snow action. Now, who exactly receives snow and who doesn't still has to be determined. This system that we're looking at now might not even materialize. The thing to pay attention to is going into the first and second and even third weeks of January, we're going to have a big pattern flip where colder air and better snow chances with stronger lows is going to materialize. And we're going to be covering this on a later video. Make sure you stay tuned and know that January could be exciting. With my fellow Stormcat 5, we'll have all of those details on future videos. Well, that about does it for the video, but I've got a special surprise for you today. I've been working on some Christmas recorder music, and I've got a CD coming out soon. It's Cinecat 5's Christmas Classics on recorder. Now presenting Santa's Classics Christmas edition with classics like Silent Night. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Put on a pot of hot cocoa as he takes you back to the glory days with Jingle Bells. Hey! Or classics like Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Or fun and upbeat hits like Feliz Navidad. And finally, the classic weather one, Let It Snow. Oh, that's it for us. From all of us here at the Stormfront Freaks, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I got a lot of gifts to get to. I haven't started wrapping anything. And Reed, Timmer, and I got to get to work on the sleigh, because we're changing that into the Slayinator. Look at that cute little elf up on that roof. Hey, get down from there. It's dangerous. I'm Santa Cat 5, and I will see you on the next one.